everyone, and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Final Touches Thursday, and of course I am running awfully late today. I haven't been feeling all that well, but we have the final touches on a page from the Mystical Lands of Ushana, A Journey to the Hidden Places, Book 2, and we have gotten this far. So we've got the acorn here, the window boxes, the little planter here, the roof, and the chimney to do. And we're going to get that done today. Hopefully it won't take a whole lot of time, but if it does, it does. I don't mind hanging out with y'all. So I'm going to switch you on over to the close-up camera so you can see what I'm doing here. Alright, so we're going to start on the window boxes. And of course we are using the Phoenix color, Felinile. I think that's how you say it. And we're going to start with the ripe brown. And we're going to go under the flowers here with the ripe brown, putting in those shadows. Now this part here, I'm going to add a little bit of the lighter color where the light will reflect off of it. Same with down here. So up here where those plants are, we're going to put in this ripe brown. And it reminds me of a very ripe banana. You know, that brown color that they get? It's a nice brown. I think that's why they call it ripe brown. Well, that's why I would call it ripe brown. I don't know if that's why they do, but I do apologize for the lateness of this video. Like I said, I haven't been feeling very well today. So if I sound a little out of breath and that sort of thing, I apologize. Sometimes when my belly decides that it's going to be bothersome, it puts pressure on my chest, on my lungs, so it knocks the wind out of me. Okay, so there's our ripe brown. Now we're going to put in some chocolate. I'm going to sharpen this up so that I don't cover over things that I don't want to cover over. There you go. Nice, really, really sharp pencil. And the one thing I like about these pencils is they hold their point really, really well. So we're just going to go into our darker area, get really deep into those little crevices. And come off of the edge here. There we go. And then just going to put in those little areas like that. And then we're going to use our almond. Do apologize for the background noise. All right. Oh, goodness. Sorry about the nose. It's also sniffly. The things that we do when we don't feel well. Now I'm going to go in with honey, which will be our lightest color. And I'm just going to sharpen this up. And I'm just going to use it in this area here where that light is going to be hitting. And I didn't sharpen it enough. There we go. So down here where that light area is, we'll use that lighter color like so. Still maintaining that brown, but definitely shows that there's something lighting it up. We're going to do the same thing down here. Just going to light that up a little bit there, like so. And there's one window box all done. So now we're going to start on the other side. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go in with ripe brown. Now this one here, it's going to take a lot more. Actually, I'm not even going to go in with ripe brown. I'm just going to go straight in with the chocolate because it is so much plant life in there that it's going to be mostly shadow. And I know the ripe brown is the darkest color and the best shadow color, but we're not going to deviate from the dark color that we have here. So I'm just going to cover the entire thing where the plant life isn't with this. And I think I covered some plant life there. Oops, that's alright. I think that was plant. And then I'm going to go in with this one where that light is going to hit, as well as up here. And then I'll go in a little bit with this really dark color. And then I'll go in with a dark green over top of that other one. I've got to find my eraser and erase a little bit of that brown off of there because it doesn't belong there. There's one. Silly me, colored some green stuff brown. So I got the eraser nice and sharp so I can get into that. Small area there. And I'll use a dark green and go over that so it will eliminate that a little bit. It'll work out. Alright, dark under there, dark under here, dark down the edge. Just make sure that you can see the planter box. There we go. Okay, now we're going to go in with the light again, and we're just going to blend it all in. And then we're going to take our dark green, Mrs. Dark Green. And just in those spots around the edge where it's going to be darkest. Any little shadow areas. Now you gotta remember you're going to get some light coming off that window, so this greenery here is going to be lighter. But there's still going to be little shadow areas. Like on the leaves, you've got your little center area, so we're going to put those in while we're here. There, like so. And then we're going to go in with avocado. We're going to do our ivy leaves. So many different greens and browns and And if we have time tomorrow, because I do have a couple of flip throughs to do because I did get some happy mail. If I don't get to it tonight and I have time tomorrow during the video, we may even do a background. We'll see. We'll see what we have time for. Alright, now we're going to grab this one, pure green. Such a tiny little space and so many different colors going into it. We're just going to take the pure green and we're just going to put a little tiny bit of it on the edges, finishing off that color so it doesn't look so flat. And doing the same into the grass, leaving some of the tips for the lighter green for where the light's hitting it. And then we're going to take our chartreuse. I'm going to zoom you in just a little bit here and move this book over just a touch. And that way you can see a little better. Didn't realize it was so far out. Sorry about that. I'm going to fiddle with it here for a second so you can actually see what I'm doing. Oh, went the wrong way. Sorry, guys. And there we go. Hopefully that's focused well enough. And I'm going in with the chartreuse and I'm going over that dark green and medium green and just adding that light bit of color there, which will light up the green a little bit and give that yellow tinge to the plant life in the box, like that. Now we're going to do our flowers. And I think this side we're going to do sangria. Actually, no, this side we're going to do blue. We'll do blue spots. So we're going to take some ice blue and we're going to do the flowers. And then we're going to take a little bit of, oh, this one. This one seems to have a little bit of a scratch on it. Lazarine, which looks to have a little bit of a red-blue color. See, it's got a little bit of red in it. It's bleeding into the wood just a touch, but that's fine. And we're just going to these are really tiny little flowers, so trying not to overtake that light blue with the dark blue. I know it's a lot of little fiddly details that you don't think about when doing a picture until you start doing it and you realize that there's so much more to be done on it. This side here, we're going to start with the greenery again. We're going to start with the dark green. Now this side here is a little different because these are all little roses. So we're going to do the under area here with the dark green, all those open areas, because that's all shadowed. I could have done it with the yellow from the window, but I'm going to do it as if there's a greenery there, because the plant life comes up high enough that that would all be greenery. And then I'm going to do the stems. Of course, some of the leaves are going to end up getting it too. Alright, now we're going to do the leaves. And we're going to go in with pure green. Like so. And once again, it's very, very small. So you have to remember to put in that detail, but it's one of those pictures that sometimes you miss putting that detail in, which makes it not look the way that you want it to look. Now I'm going in with the chartreuse because this too is in a window box in front of a window. So we want those top areas to have that light come through them. You can also blend a couple of different areas here so that it looks like the light is coming through the flowers. And then we're going to get some red. I think it's this one. And I want this one, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to use red and plum. Plum for our contrasting colors and red for our color. So I'm going to put the plum down first, and then I'll put the red over top of it so it blends out some of that plum, because plum is going to be the darkest color. So underneath here and in here, in here, under here. So anywhere that the buds are touching each other or circling in is going to be that plum. And I'm not doing a heavy coat, just a really light coat, so that when I put the red over top of it, you can see that little shadow. I missed a couple of leaves, so we're just going to fill those in. Okay, did I miss any more here? And then we're going to take our red and we're going to fill those in. Now if you find that your plum isn't as dark as you want it to be, You can definitely go back over it. But I think it looks fine. It's a very pretty house. I don't know how they got the flowers to grow in their window boxes. I can never get flowers to grow in the window boxes. They always die. Like so. And then we're going to take our burnishing pencil here, and we're just going to burnish out the white spot, making it a little bit brighter. Like that. Basically what this does is it just knocks down the white spot and moves that color into it, just the same as a blending pencil. However, once you go over it with the burnishing pencil, it's very difficult to add more color, where with a blending pencil, if you go over it lightly, you can end up being able to add more color because it's not knocking down the tooth of the page as much, where this is taking the tooth out completely. Okay, and then we're going to go over here and do the same thing. Just burnish that all. Get that all nice and bright. Like that. And then we're going to do the little planter here. And once again, we're going to go in with the dark green. And we're going to do the little ivies. And the little tulip leaves here. Now we're not worried too much about light source on this one because the light source is far enough away that this is going to be fairly dark. Now with the factor of the lights being on in the house as well as the lantern being lit, it tells me it's a night scene. So it's going to be dark over here where there's no light. Unless I put a moon or something over this side. Which I'm not going to do because I haven't anticipated that, so. If I had anticipated that, I would have put in that contingency. But I will probably put the moon on the other side where there's more light showing. If that makes sense. Alright, so I'm just going to take the dark again. Just darken up some little areas here. I will, however, leave the edges a little bit lighter. They're not going to be really dark green, but we'll leave the edges a little lighter. And then we're going to take azalea pink. And we're going to do the tulips. And then we're going to take fuchsia. And we're just going to add a little bit for contrast here. got it on the tulip. They're very small. Alright, so that is that. And then we're going to take our dark brown and we're going to go over the edges here. This is the top to an acorn. So it's got that woody texture. So we're just going to color in the shadowing. As well as go around each of their little nut parts. Like that. And then we're going to, so that was chocolate, and then we're going to take this one here, which is walnut. And hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. And then we're going to take this one here, I think. No, yeah. Then we're going to take the honey, and we're just going to lighten it up just a little bit. Like so. Alright. Now we're going to do the wood here, so we're going to take the bright brown. And I'm going to just follow the little wood lines here. Like that. Just putting in that shadow area on the edges, as well as putting in that dimension on the bottom here. Now I'm not worried about it going into the yellow areas here because that shadow is going to be there. Like so. And then we're going to take the chocolate and again just bringing that in little lines because it's a very small area. Not trying to overcome the dark with it. Just filling it in. And then the honey. Like so. And then we'll take our burnishing pencil and knock out that white. And do the same thing up top here. And take the burnishing pencil and knock out that white spot. Now I'm pushing harder on this area with the burnishing pencil to brighten those colors a little bit, darken that, like bring out that gray and knock down some of that white that's making it look brighter than it is. Because that's one thing that white spot does do. And what white spot is just the tooth of the paper showing through. So basically it's the white of the paper. And sometimes if you want a dark area and you don't knock down that white area, it doesn't show through as dark as you want it to because that white is taking over and not showing you the dark areas. Sorry about that. Didn't realize I was off screen again. I have a tendency to do that. Watching what I'm doing, not what I'm doing on camera. All right, now we've got another window there to do, so we're going to grab that reddish brown. So we're going to grab some caramel. And we're just going to fill that in. Then we're going to take, oh, let's just chuck that anywhere. A little bit of burnt sienna. And we're going to go over the edges. Like that. And then we're going to take, what's this one? Yeah, maybe a little bit of pumpkin. And do the inside here with a touch of yellow. On the inside. Then we're going to take our blue and you can do this with gray as well. It's usually a night scene. It's done with the gray. I like the blue because it looks like a window. And then we're going to take our dark brown. So this is the ripe brown. And then we're going to take our honey. Because this is such a small area, I don't want to overtake it with that brown too much. So I want to see where that brown is going to be. And then I'm going to take the chocolate. And I'm going to do the center area here where that light isn't going to be reaching. Like that. And then I'll do this edge again. Like that. Alright, we're getting there. So now we're going to do the roof line. We've got that bright brown. Again, just coming down that roof line where all those little marks are. Then we're going to do the same thing with the chocolate. And then we're going to do the same thing with walnut. And the walnut is going to be our lightest color. Because this is supposed to be a covered area with those shingles, although it doesn't look like it really covers over top of them. And then we're going to take our burnisher, and again we're going to eliminate that white spot there. And there are many instances where you want that white spot to be there, especially with woods and stuff like that. But with this being a fairly dark picture, I didn't really need it to be there. Now we're going to do the shingles, and we're going to start with, which one's this one? Burnt sienna. Because I want them to have a little bit of a terracotta kind of look. So once again, this is just burnt sienna. And then we're going to go in with a little bit of caramel. Sorry guys, I got concentrating on what I was doing. So still going through with the caramel onto the other side here, getting those all filled in. Like that. And then we're going to take the chocolate, maybe, yeah, chocolate. And we're just going to go down the edge here. Make sure that that's nice and dark. And then we're going to go in to the top of each one, because that's going to be shadowed from the one above it. So we do the underneath of the top one and then down the bottom one a little. And these ones up here at the top, they'll be pretty shadowed just by going down the edge. And then down the bottom and up. Basically just putting in the shadow of the bottom of the shingle, because with the terracotta shingle they're curved a little, so they have a little bit of a shadow there. Like that. And then once again going through with the pencil, burnishing pencil now, and burnishing those out because a terracotta tile is fairly smooth, although there is a lot of different dimensions and diversities in their color. But I'm not too worried about that on this page. Like that. And there we have our terracotta tiles. Now we're going to do the chimney stack, and we're going to start with Aragon. take a sip of my coffee. Oh, that's better. Mouth was getting dry. We're almost done. And we're going to go around each one. We're going to fill it all in. And just like we did below here, these ones here we did brighter red. So these ones up here we might do a brighter red as well because it's part of the same structure there. But I'm not sure. We'll have to see how it goes. It'll look like brick, that's all I know. I will try to make it look like brick. So I'm just putting down a thin layer of the 164 Aragon. Which is a very reddish brown. So it's a really good terracotta color. I might put some of that burnt sienna in as well because it makes a really nice red too. So I'm going to actually put a bit of tarragon in here too. Because I didn't blend that. So now it is. I'm still debating on the chimney cap here if I want to do that in grays or not. We'll leave it for now. Just for a bit here until I figure it out. Then we're going to take some sienna. Do the edges. Give it that red hue. Especially in the shadowy areas. With these ones here, it's a definition in the brick. Because some of these aren't in shadow areas, it's the front of the chimney, so. It's just the squareness of the brick giving it a shadow on the edge. It's a shadow up under there. Okay. And then we're going to take our chocolate. Just going in and defining that shadow just a little bit more. That. And then we need our dark gray. So we're going to go in with Cinerus. Like so. Do the mortar. Not worried about any light because this is If you look at a chimney in the dark, even if there's a light area or a light source hitting it, you can't really see in between the bricks. It's always dark. So that's why I'm doing that dark. And then we're going to take our burnishing pencil and just get rid of that white spot. Not worried about getting gray on anything because, like I said, it's a night scene, so having the darkness on the bricks is fine. Now let's think about this chimney cap. I think I might do it kind of like I did the bottom here. So we're going to take that gray again. So we're going to take Cinerous Gray and make sure it's nice and sharp so we can get into those tight edges where the most shadow is. Okay. Then we're going to take the lightest gray available, which is Moon Gray, and I'm just going to put a very light amount down. And then I'm going to take Cream and go over that. And take that gray again, go over that. So I'm just going back and forth between Cream and Moon Gray right now until I get to the point of the color that I want it to be. That will be fairly matchy-matchy with down there. With the lower part of the house. And I think we're about there. And then we're going to take a bit of black. And we're just going to do the really heavy shadow area. Like so. I don't know why I get quiet while I'm trying to do shadows. It's very strange, but I do. Alright, so there we have it. Now we're going to take our blender and our burnisher, and we're just going to move that around just a little bit. Knock some of it back with some of the lighter color so it doesn't look so in your face. And then we're going to take the Cinerous and we're just going to do the smoke coming out of the chimney. Like so. And there we have the smoke coming out of the chimney. I think I rubbed my hand on something here. Drug some stuff around. because of course I couldn't possibly use my brush. Sorry, Evelyn. Evelyn bought me a wonderful brush and I didn't use it, and it's right here next to my hand. So alright, so all we have left is the weather vane. So let's grab a nice chocolate brown. There we go. And then we're going to grab a little bit of Aragon for the bottom part here. And then we're going to grab a bit of caramel for the top part here. Although I probably should have gone the other way around, but that's okay. I'm weird. It's alright. Nobody worry about me. And then we're going to blend that. I'm using a blender pencil this time. And then we're going to take our black. First we're going to take our Nile gray and we're going to color this area. See, this house is weird because it's showing that there's a light side on this side here. So I think the moon is on this side. So that makes sense. So I've got the black going around the ball of the weather vane here. And there we have that. Now we're just going to take the chocolate and we're going to do the sign. And put some wood grain in here. Do the edges a little darker. And there we go. Then we're going to take our caramel. Still keeping with the movement of the wood. Now I'm lifting my hand a little bit and I'm lightening the touch while I go over the letter areas in the center of the plaque. And then I'm going to grab walnut. Where's my walnut? Walnut, there you are. And I'm going to go around the edges a little bit more with the walnut. Just kind of darken that up just a little bit. And then we're going to take honey. And we're going to finish it off with some honey. I'm going to turn it here so I can get a better fix on it so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing and not twist my hand off. Then we're going to take some gray and we're going to do the screws. So that is, of course, the Cinerus Gray. And there we have it. I'll switch you over to the main camera here so you can see what it all looks. Oh, we completely forgot about this wonderful little thing down here. So let's grab our walnut, sharpen it up. I completely forgot about that acorn. Oh dear. I got too busy worrying about the top part. I thought I was all done. So I got some walnut here. I'm going to go around the edge where it's going to be shadowed. Go around the little bits here. Like so. There we go. And then we're going to grab caramel. And we're going to color that in. And then we're going to grab the ripe brown. We're going to do our heavy shadow areas. And then on the bottom part, we're going to take our caramel and we're going to do our heavier shadow areas with our shadow areas with our caramel. And we're just going to come all the way in, lightening that touch as we get closer to the center. And then we can take our honey put down a really good coat of the honey. I know you guys probably can't see a darn thing I'm doing, but I'm sorry. And then we're going to go in with our chocolate into those really dark shadowy areas. Like so. And then we'll take our blender and we'll blend it nice and smooth. Because if you look at an acorn shell, it's very smooth. Up here isn't so smooth, but down here is very smooth. All right, now we're done. And there we have it. That is the finishing touches to the bed and breakfast, the Lapis Highlands bed and breakfast from the Mystical Lands of Ushana, Volume 2, colored by me, drawn by Karen E. Myers. And of course, we have our Friday tomorrow, and we will be doing some Happy Mail and some flip throughs. And if we have time tomorrow, I will probably start it off camera. But if we have time tomorrow, we may be putting a background on this with something special. We will see. It all depends upon how much time we have and how much energy I have, because I'm not feeling very well and I don't know if tomorrow I will be any better. So I have this little area right here that I did not do anything with. So let's see if I can follow those lines without making a mess. I've just got the black here, and I'm just following the black line of the cast iron plant holder here in the chain. There we go. That's better. Picky, picky, picky. Okay, so that is it. I thank you all very much for hanging out. And of course, I hope you have enjoyed this wonderful month of the mystical lands of both Ushana as well as the mystical lands of Kelswitch and all of the wonderful books that Karen E. Myers has produced and put out for us to color. Karen will actually be visiting with us on Saturday during our Saturday Color and Chat. So if you want to talk to her, if you have any questions for her whatsoever, please make sure that you stop by and say hello. So, of course, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not already a subscriber to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you want to just come hang out with us and a bunch of us over on Discord, you're welcome to do so. The Discord link is in the information below the video. If you want to financially support the channel, you can definitely do so by, of course, hitting that join button, which will give you different perks and stuff like that for being a member and different tiers of membership. Other than that, guys, always remember to stay kind to each other and remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed this color and chat and color along and all these wonderful pages. Until next time, bye bye for now.